Welcome back, guys, to our last day of the last week of class of the second partial. Next week is full review, and next week after that will be final exam. So we're almost over with this second partial. Today we're going to see the very last topic, the topic that will be helping us with our project. Okay, we are going to make some conversions between our systems. Yes, Rebecca. Okay, so this first part over here are the conversions of the customary systems, the ones that we saw last week that you had to use for your homework. This is the one we saw the previous week for the metric system, where we had a 7-step ladder or 7-step stairs. In the middle, we got the main units, to the bottom, the small units, and to the top, the big units. If we were going from 1 point up, then we had to move the decimal point to the left. And if we were going from one of those steps down, then we move it to the right, okay? And now I give you new conversions, okay? Conversions between systems. The first one were conversions for the metric system. Second one, customary system. And now we got conversions between systems. And we have a few. We're not having a lot of them. We're just having a few in this part. Okay, we have 1 meter is equal to 3.28 feet. We also have 1 meter is equal to 1.093 yards. We have the 1 foot is equal to 30.48. And I know some of you might say, Miss, but if you said that a ruler is a foot and a ruler has 30 centimeters, why are you telling us today that a meter is then, a foot, I'm sorry, is 30.68 centimeters? Well, I'm going to explain to you why. So this is my ruler. And I told you and I showed you that my ruler has 12 inches. Okay, at the top, we have inches. And I also told you that at the bottom, we have centimeters. Okay, you see centimeters. At the top, 12 inches, at the bottom, centimeters. So why am I telling you the 1 foot is 30.48 centimeters and not 30 centimeters as the ruler says? Well, because if I place a paper right where inches begin, okay, right over there, as you can see, it is right where it begins. At the bottom, where we have the centimeters, it's a little bit more than the 30 centimeters. Can you see? It's a little bit more. That little bit more, that extra part, that is the 0.48 centimeters that we're missing. Okay, that's what we're missing. So that's why I'm telling you that 1 foot is 30.48 centimeters. I'm also going to tell you that 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Okay, those are the ones for length. Then we go with mass. 1 pound is 454 grams. 1 kilogram will be equal to 2.205 pounds. So whenever you go to the doctor and the doctor weighs you and the doctor says, okay, your weight, even though we're talking about mass, is 30 kilograms, then you know that you need to multiply that by 2.205 so you can know how many pounds you actually weighed. Okay, remember, it's not a weight, it's a mass. We have now for capacity, the 1 gallon is equal to 3.7856 liters. Okay, and besides that, we are going to be working with some extra measurements, which are this two. You're going to find this two, add it to your comment in your recipe if you need to make changes of this type, okay? So let's see this one, the pink one. We have, for example, the 1 cup is equal to 250 milliliters, or it's the same thing. 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. We know that one, okay? That's from the customary units, okay? It is in Spanish, but you know that taza means cup. Then milliliters, you know it already, and fluid ounces, you know it already. Also, cucharadita is TSP, which means teaspoon. And cucharada is TBSP, which means tablespoon, okay? Teaspoon, the small one, tablespoon, the big one. Okay, so you're going to have, some of you might have, for example, use harina in the comment, okay? Between parentheses, use harina from the pink image. So you need to use either this one or this one, according to what you are being requested to change. I also have this other one, the blue one, where I might ask you to change a stick to milligrams, or I can ask you to change cups to grams, okay? These are for liquids, these are other measurements, and then you have azúcar, harina o azúcar, azúcar o mantequilla, and I am going to specify what you're going to do with this, okay? So for right now, let's keep it like that, okay? And I will be showing you afterwards how we are going to use this. Right now, we're going to continue with this, with the first conversions, okay? So let's say that I have 355 grams in a recipe, okay? And in the recipe, I'm asking you to change those 355 grams to ounces, okay? So what is our step one? Our step one is to make this number a fraction. So 355 grams into a fraction by adding a 1 as a denominator. Now I'm going to multiply. Remember, it is a fraction. And remember, I need gram to be at the top, but then gram at the bottom. So I know that I need to have grams over here so I can cancel that unit. Okay, so let's find if I have a measurement that goes from grams to ounces. Okay, so between systems, because grams is metric, ounces is customary. So I have from pounds to grams. I don't have from grams to ounces or from ounces to grams, but I have from pounds to grams, okay? Let's make it in blue. And I also have from pounds to ounces. So I can use those two conversions, okay? I can go from grams to pounds, and then from pounds to ounces. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I have that 454 grams are 1 pound. I'm not being asked for pounds, so I need to change that. And I'm going to say that 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces, okay? And as you can see, I also have this crossed. And I'm going to cancel out the units, grams with grams, pounds with pounds, and I'm left with ounces, which is what I'm being requested, okay? So now I can go ahead and start multiplying, okay? And I'm going to multiply in a straight line because fractions are multiplied in a straight line. Numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. So that's what I'm going to do. 355 times 1, that's 355. And I'm going to multiply it times 16 ounces, because that's the only unit that I have left. Over 1 times 454, that's 454 times 1, again, 454. So there's several ways of doing this. You can, for example, go ahead and multiply numerator and then divide it by the denominator and give me a decimal. For this part, I do need decimals, or we can simplify. I know that I can simplify this too by dividing by 2. Okay, they're divisible by 2. So I can go ahead and say, okay, I'm gonna leave it in green. 355 because I'm doing nothing. I just copy it. I'm gonna divide 16 divided by 2, 8 ounces. Over 454 divided by 2. How much is that? That is 227. Okay, now I get to multiply my numerators because I cannot simplify any further. Okay, so I need to multiply 355 times 8. Okay, you're going to do that procedure in your notebook, and it will give me 2,840 ounces. over 227. I cannot simplify this, so I just go ahead and divide. How do you divide it? Remember, 127 goes outside, 2,840 goes inside, okay? And you're gonna give me the answer in decimals. And this is gonna be 12.51. I want two numbers after the decimal point. But 12.51 what? Ounces. And that is your final answer. So you see, we need to use conversions between systems, but also a conversion from the customary system. Okay, so you need to have all of this in the index cards. Okay, you need to have the ladder or the stair with the main units. You have to have the conversions for this customary system, and you have to have the conversions between systems. All of this will help you for your homework or classwork that we're going to do this week for the last day of classes, okay? And also it will help you out with your project, okay? Okie dokie. Let's go with example number 2 that we're going to change from the metric to the customary as well, okay? That's what we have been doing. Now, I told you once that a marathon in Central America is measured in kilometers, but in the US, they're measured in customary systems, okay? And I told you that a marathon was 42.195 kilometers. So now we are going to see how many miles that is, okay? So like I was telling you the last week, I didn't know the conversions because my watch was in a different setting. So now the same thing goes, okay? I will be running with a friend in the US. Okay, this is an example. So I want to tell my friend how many miles we might run, okay, in the Boston Marathon. So I know that it is 42.195 kilometers, but my friend doesn't know how much miles that is equivalent to. So we're going to do the conversion, okay? So we're going to start with, as the same as always, we're going to start writing a fraction. So 42.195 kilometers over 1, because I need fractions, okay, over 1, times. I have kilometer at the top. I need to have kilometers where? Up or down?
At the bottom.
At the bottom, correct, because I need them crossed. Okay, so you can see there's no need for me to do that highlight. I just need to remember that if it's at the top, I need it now at the bottom. Okay, let's find a conversion that goes between kilometers and miles. Do we have one that is between conversion between kilometers and miles? So we have meters to feet, meters to yards, feet to centimeters, inches to centimeters. So no, we don't have one that goes from kilometers to miles. So what should we do? In this image, we don't have one. Okay, so I'm going to show you what you're going to do. There is one. I'm going to give it to you, but not right now, okay? There is one. So I'm going to change first from kilometers to what? To feet, to yards that are given from meters. So I need to change this kilometers to meters first. That's the first thing that I'm going to do. So I'm going to erase this because I don't need it right now. And I'm going to change this kilometers to meters, okay? So I'm going to use my spheres. Remember, meter goes in the middle. Over here, I got decameter, hectometer, and kilometer or kilometer. Okay, so I'm going from kilometer all the way to meters. Why? Because I have a conversion from meter to feet, from meter to yard, and then I have a conversion that goes from feet to miles or yard to miles. Okay, but first I need to have meters. So I'm going down 1, 2, 3 steps. Okay, so I'm going down 3 steps. So that means that I need to move my decimal point to the right 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Over here. Okay. So I'm going to say now that I have 42,195 meters. Now I can go with a fraction. I make this a fraction. I have meters at the top, so I need meters at the bottom. We know that 1 meter is equal to, what are we going to use? Are we using yards or are we using feet? Yes, Angel. We can use either one, okay? I'm going to use yards. It doesn't matter. You can use feet or you can use yard. At the end, you need to have exactly the same answer. So I'm going to use yards. 1 meter is 1.093 yards. But I'm not being asked for yards, right? I'm being asked for miles. So I can use this other one, okay? 1 mile is 1,760 yards. Yard is at the top. Yard has to go at the bottom. So I'm going to place over here 1,760 yards are equal to 1 mile. So I'm going to cancel meter with meters, yards with yards, and I'm left with miles. Now I need to go ahead and multiply. I'm going to have 42,195 times 1.093 times 1 mile. So I'm going to say 4,195 times 1.093 yards over 1 times 1,760, 1,760. I'm not going to simplify anything in this case, so you can see that you can do it right away. I'm just going to multiply the 42,195 times 1.093, which you need to do manually, okay? And then I'm going to divide that by the 1,760. And I get it as a final answer. I'm not going to do the procedure, but you need to do it. I get 26.20 and 204 miles. Okay, and that is a conversion that I have. Now I'm going to show you the conversion that I did with 7A. Because we do have the units that go from kilometers to miles, okay? 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers, okay? Which I'm gonna add for you in there, okay? 1.609 kilometers is a mile. When I did the procedure with that straight away, it gave me 26.224. It gives us 204. So the difference is something that will not affect us. So that's why we're going to add that conversion over here. Okay, I'm going to add it over here. 1 mile is equal to 1.609 kilometers. So there's an extra one. You can go ahead and use it to go strictly from one unit to the other without having to pass from kilometers to meters and then from meters to yards and from yards to miles. Okay, so you can see this is a procedure that you will most definitely be using when you get to see physics. Okay, do we have any questions so far? No questions. Okay, so now I'm going to move this a little bit up, a little bit up, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. There. Okay, just a little bit. And for example, for some of you, I will be requesting, for example, you need to change 3 tablespoons of, I don't know, maybe it was a soda that your recipe had. I'm talking about the recipe now. Then you need to change that to your instructions are going to say conversions to work. Okay. That's what it's going to say, conversions to work. And I'm going to say, for example, 3 tablespoons, 2 milligrams. Use levadura seca because it was soda. Okay, it was baking soda. So use levadura seca from Pink Image. maybe those are the instructions that I'm going to give you in your recipe, okay? The one that I'm going to give you today. So what are you going to do with that? Because we didn't see over here tablespoons, okay? In the conversions, there's no tablespoon in this conversions. So what are you going to do? Well, we're going to use the pink image. What does the pink image says? Okay, so let's go to the pink image. This is the pink image. And down here, it says, from tablespoon, okay, 1 tablespoon, use levadura seca, it's down here. It says that 1 tablespoon is 10 grams, okay, 1 tablespoon is 10 grams. So I'm going to say, okay, the conversions that I have are that 1 tablespoon of levadura seca, okay, 1 tablespoon of levadura seca is equal to 10 grams. Okay, that's the conversion that I have. Let's rewrite those letters. There. 1 tablespoon is equal to 10 grams. They are asking me to change 3 tablespoons to milligrams. So I need to change from tablespoon to grams and then use the stairs to change it to milligrams. So I'm going to say, okay, 3 tablespoons, that's the unit that I have in my recipe. And this is the procedure that I want to see for your conversions, times tablespoon at the top, tablespoon at the bottom. 1 tablespoon is equal to 10 grams. I cancel tablespoon to tablespoon and I'm left with grams, which is not what I'm being asked, but I'm going to work with that. And I'm going to say, okay, 3 times 10, I'm going to do it straight away because it's small numbers that I can do, is 30 grams. And 1 times 1 is 1, 30 grams. But I'm not being asked for grams. I'm being asked for milligrams. So I have my stair, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gram is in here and milligram is over here. You're going to use your stair. You're going down. How many steps? 1, 2, 3 steps. You're going down 3 steps. So that means that you're moving the decimal point to the right. Okay, so I got the 30 that has the decimal point at the very right. And I'm going to move it 3 times to the right. 1, 2, 3. My new decimal point goes in here and I add those extra zeros. So 3 tablespoons are 30,000 milligrams. And that is the conversion that you're going to show me. And that's how you use the pink image. Okay, same way will go if I request you to use the blue image. Okay, the blue image is that one. So same thing will go if I'm asking you to use the blue image. Okay, so you need to be careful with what I'm being asked. Do you have any question of how to do these conversions? Just be careful. No questions? Okay, so let's place today's topic. What is today's topic? The name. What's the name of today's topic? It's given in there already. It's written in there.
Conversions between systems.
Exactly. Conversions between systems. And that is a topic for today. Do you have any question whatsoever? No questions? We're good? Okay then. So basically this is the very last part of the topic that we are going to see in our partial exam.